So the Leadership Consortium owes its name and its origin from the fact that a consortium is in essence a grouping and a collective of ideas and thoughts. And it's embedded in the fact that leadership per se is not normally in the hands of one person. It should be a collective, it should involve different perspectives, it should involve a broad spectrum of what is possible from the leadership perspective. The Zenger-Folkman family of colleagues around the world represent a broad group of people who are playing in the leadership space. And our Australian colleagues, Terry Reynolds and Glenn Price, have done a magnificent job in putting together a set of podcasts that address the questions and the recipes within the Zenger-Folkman methodology. These podcasts represent step-by-step, short, bite-sized, normally about 3 to 4 minutes, ideas, concepts, and tips and tricks as to how we can build our extraordinary leadership. So our invitation is to enjoy these podcasts, squeeze as much value as you can out of them, and make it part of building your leadership stepway to extraordinary. Episode 26 of our podcast series highlights the opportunity that lies in using crises as an opportunity for dramatic growth. I'm always quite amazed how, as South African leaders, we are able to uniquely face crises and to pull ourselves out by our own hair, as the Munchausen effect highlights, and come up with answers to scenarios and crises that most other groupings of people would not be able to do. We are quite uniquely different in that way. One of the challenges, however, that we face is as we as leaders move up the ladder, at the top of our ladder, we tend to suffer from arrogance as being part of our leadership mix. This is an issue that we need to be cognizant of and ensure that this does not hinder our future potential. Post this COVID crisis we are currently going through, there is enormous pressure and opportunity for us to be able to leverage our current DNA, dismiss of our arrogant approach, and to find new and unique ways of developing ourselves as leaders.
Welcome to the Leadership Digital podcast series with Glenn Price and Terry Reynolds. In this week's podcast, we want to talk about how you as a leader can use humility as an anchor. The fresh air at near the top of the corporate ladder smells fine. It is also the perfect microclimate to breed arrogance. You are, after all, an extremely capable person. So few have done what you've done. You've developed many skills through many experiences, and some people might even say that you are wise. Now, all of this might be true, and yet you need to find a way to cultivate humility. Too much self-confidence narrows your peripheral vision. Leading your organization as though you've got it all figured out makes you and your company a target for negative surprises. Humility keeps you aware, it keeps you alert, and it keeps you nimble. Consciously creating curiosity, asking good questions, and listening to new and possibly unconventional ideas that keep your business healthy is a great idea. Create a rolling schedule of novel experiences and opportunities to learn so that you can easily slip into your beginner suit. Get out of your office often and embrace these powerful phrases. I don't know. Help me understand. And you're right. Another area is to demonstrate grace and patience as a leader. In some circles, impatience is considered a virtue. It's mistakenly equated with being results-driven. In some rare instances, when deadlines continually get missed, results aren't there, or standards are slack, then absolutely a show of hot-tempered disapproval and disappointment may be appropriate. But let's be very clear. Impatience doesn't inspire high performance. It inspires fear, which can be as debilitating to your team's critical thinking and engagement as alcohol or drugs. Recall what happened inside the cockpit of Air France Flight 447 before it crashed into the Atlantic Ocean back in 2009. Its pilot, terrified and inexperienced, kept pulling back the stick, despite the fact that it was clearly leading them into a steep descent. Popular mechanics called his actions irrational, but not inexplicable, explaining intense psychological stress tends to shut down the part of the brain responsible for innovative, creative thought. Instead, we tend to revert to the familiar and the well-rehearsed. In other words, the pilot defaulted to the maneuvers he knew best, those that he performed at low altitude. There, pulling back the stick would have saved them, instead of crashing them into the fathoms. So, as a leader, remind yourself to ease up on the stick. Embrace the oxymoronic motto of Emperor Augustus and make haste slowly. Grace under pressure and patience flow from humility, and are what turn crisis into opportunity.
It's a pleasure to be able to share these thoughts and ideas with you, and hopefully be part of allowing you to adopt a journey where extraordinary leadership is an opportunity and a growth area for you and your teams.